Good morning. Happy Saturday. I think I made it by 1 minute. Ooh, it's noon. It just turned noon. Hope you're having a good start to your weekend. We finally made it to the gym. Thank you, Jesus. It's been on my to-do list for weeks and weeks, and I am making it a priority to go at least twice a week. The gym not only helps me mentally, but physically it makes my bones stronger. It makes me stronger. It's just so important to keep that muscle mass up as we age, because we all know we're not getting any younger. Speaking of to-do lists, today I'm going to give you my tips and tricks with painting. I have to stop over-promising and under-delivering, because that's what's happening. I need to under-promise and over-deliver. I still have that one wall to do here in the living room. I'm going to do that today, because Rob can help me move the furniture out from the wall. And I want to get this done. I want to get this hutch styled so I can get more out of my office. And I want to hang something on the wall in here that I think will work. I think it will work really well in here. It's not going to work in the kitchen, so it's going to have to go in here. I need to paint starting there and all the way over. If you weren't here the other day when I showed you what the difference is in paint on the wall, right there. This was the original color, and then this is the color that I chose. This is Timeless White by Sherwin-Williams. This is a beige base, which I absolutely love. I don't know what color that is, but this is what I'm doing throughout the house. Anyway, I need to fill this little space here, and I want to keep this relatively open. I might put a tree or something here, but because of this walkway, I don't want this too crowded. Right now, this is probably at least 4 feet, so you've got plenty of room, but I might put a tree here. And then right here is what I want to hang on the wall. This used to hang in my mom and dad's kitchen. This is an old phone. Rob loves these. I do too. I think they're so cute. So I think it will fit perfectly there. And then I might put one of the chairs that I refinished earlier. I think this is around Christmas time. Put that right underneath the chair. Underneath the phone. I just think that would be a great spot for it.
I've been afraid of changing, 'cause I built my life.
These are all the things that I use when I'm painting. Again, I'm not professional. I just do this for fun, believe it or not. I like painting. And they're just very simple items you probably already have around your home. The thing you're going to need is a flathead screwdriver to take all of the screws out of your outlet covers. Also, I use a drop cloth. I got this at Lowe's, and for painting walls and molding, etc., I just keep this folded over, because I found that if you have it too thin and the paint drops on the cloth, it will go through and get on your floors. Also use an old towel. If I don't need this whole entire drop cloth, I use a towel. I just keep it doubled over like this and put it on the floor to keep the paint from getting on it. I also need some lightweight spackling. This is what I use because it's very quick drying. I use it for all of the holes. And once the holes are dry, you have to go over with sandpaper. I would use something that's not a very hard grit. I would probably do like a 220 or something so you don't scratch up the surface of the wall. This, honestly, I just take a little bit on my finger because these holes are really tiny right here. And all I do is take a little bit of it and fill the hole. And then I'll come back with some sandpaper and just knock that, the part of the wall that's sticking out, I'll just knock that off or down with sandpaper. Your walls are really dusty, you can wipe them down. These aren't dusty, I just double checked, so these are good to go. For these types of switches, these just pop off. You can take the screws out and then the plate just pops off also. I'm gonna start cutting in first with one of my favorite brushes, but what I do like to do is take a paper towel and go along the molding just to make sure that you get all of that dust off. Like I said, I check the walls, but I always wipe these off because if not, you'll get that in your paint. I tried this brush at this new house. This is the best brush I think I have ever used. This is what it looks like when it's clean. It is a 2-inch angled brush with a short handle. I always got so much pain in my wrist because of how the brushes were so long. If you have problems with that also, these are excellent. So like I said, I'm just gonna cut in along all of the trim, and then after I do that, I'm gonna go back and paint the actual wall. I'll let it dry. I'll go back and paint around the trim again, paint the walls again, and then I'll paint the trim.
Wow, it is such a beautiful day. Yeah, I think it's so important that we just like go out in nature sometimes. It's just like touch the grass, just like roll around in the grass. I love nature. I love